What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Fastnigellan bringing you another Company of Heroes 2 replay. This will be the very first episode of Why He Won, where we'll be taking a quick look at factors or decisions made during the battle that ultimately led to my victory. As we can see here, myself playing as the Soviets in the bottom, and in the top my opponent is ZTN-Baker playing as the OKW. So the first thing off the bat here is the opening. We see Baker going straight for the middle point with his Sturm Pioneers. So I can see the idea behind that. Obviously the objective of this game is to deplete your opponent's victory points. So the tendency is to begin capturing those victory points right off the bat, but this is in fact what you do not want to do, as you are isolating yourself from resources. And you're also isolating yourself to becoming very outnumbered very quickly. Getting my conscripts behind heavy cover and trying to steer clear of the Sturm Pioneers' close range weaponry as I get my machine gun set up in depth here. And this would be the first factor in my victory. I was able to somewhat overwhelm his advance party with my machine gun, and I was also able to have this engineer squad close by in case they needed to respond to anything. So again, a good base of fire in the bottom and an assault squad here at the left hand side. Setting up my machine gunners to be in range of the Sturm Pioneers.
Enemy squad is dead.
And just going over the doctrines that we've selected here. Looks like I've gone for the guard mortar coordination tactics. And ZTN-Baker going for the Luftwaffe ground forces doctrine. So nothing out of the ordinary there. In the bulletins we have a mixed bag of stuff here. Although that last one here, kind of questionable. Especially for this map. Conscripts recognizing that he has heavy cover, I begin to move them back. And my bulletins here are invested into the anti-tank gun. Getting some mortars out and setting them up. I really like this map, as I drop bombs on that Volksgrenadier squad. The reason why I like this map, especially starting at this point, is because you're corralled in by this nice wall here. As we see MG34 setting up in the house here, so great decision there by Baker. As we do see Baker making up for his lack of good decision making at the beginning by connecting all the territories there. So while he's correcting his mistake, the damage has been done. Noticing the MG34 is in this building, I begin to drop rounds onto the building. And realizing that they are quite exposed, I get my conscripts there just in time. Getting off a good Molotov there, anticipating where they're going to be behind that cover. Getting my flame engineers in position. As we do see some Volks kind of standing around here in the tall grass.
Good work, comrades. This now belongs to us.
And Kubelwagen moving up. And this is another small factor here that led to my victory. Was dealing with that Kubelwagen before it could deal any reasonable damage. See Volksgrenadiers swinging around the right hand side here. Looking to take out that mortar squad, but realizing how open I was there, getting them out of the way. As we do see the Volksgrenadiers almost in range. And if they don't vault over that fence, they are going to get pinned down by my bunkers.
This territory is ours. Fresh Guards troops are standing by.
And there they go.
Enemy contact! Yes, comrade.
Here we have me setting up my MG, or my machine gun, just out of range, so I move them up. Failed to mention that I got an MG in this building here.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
So Baker setting up his support gun.
We need to re-establish our supply lines.
Mortar round landing right on the Volksgrenadiers, so great shot there. Support gun doing some damage against my mortars. Just gonna speed it up here.
Guards troops ready for action.
I'm getting out my guards troops.
We are as ready as we can be. The enemy is firing on us.
Guard rifle infantry squads are now available.
So this would be the second major factor that led to my victory.
Enemy forces are neutralizing.
While this is a logical point to place your spear, it is also not a very smart place. And it's logical because you have a full, pretty much a full 360-degree view, and it's kind of up on a hill here. But obviously, because of that 360-degree view, I now have a wide range of line of sight areas that I can just begin barraging it with any guns that I get out on the battlefield, namely my anti-tank gun. Excuse me. Again, identifying that there's MG in this building here, I begin dropping some mortar rounds on it.
We are losing territory.
So back to the Schreer, instead of putting it out in the middle like this, you really want to get it behind a building so that it's not in direct view of your opponent.
AT gun is ready for combat.
Otherwise you're just inviting direct attacks that are not going to be very difficult for the opponent. When it's behind something like the building here, It's a lot. First of all, it's a lot easier to defend, and the sphere is actually more effective since any attacking is going to have to be around the flanks. And by that time, it takes more time to coordinate an attack and more time to allow you to react to it as you get some support gun shots on the building. So that's exactly what you want to do. So great job there by Baker. Nothing like coffee. We're just going to speed it up a little bit here, setting up a machine gun in this little shack here as the guards take this this point here, getting them behind heavy cover as they cap, which is always what you want to do if the opportunity is there. Fallschirmjäger's moving up here, although I don't know that they're behind any cover. So they're in fact, I guess they're not in any exposed negative cover, whatever you call that, red shield. So we see some Volks converging on my anti-tank gun here, setting up some mines here. Probably not the greatest position. Might have been better to place them near some cover here, but I was a little afraid that the support gun would have taken my guys out. So moving in my conscripts here, blobbed up almost in the range of the sphere, so definitely not a factor that led to my victory, that's for sure. This was a dumb decision by myself. You see the mortars getting in range of the sphere, but also in range of the support gun. Volks moving up with their Shreks. So not too sure why he's going for... why he's upgrading him to the Shrek at this point. I don't have any armor on the field. Fallschirmjäger's converging on my anti-tank gun here and my mortars. Another great shot by the support gun. Volks Grenadiers kind of just sitting here, so another factor that led to my defeat, or my victory, was the fact that Baker was sending in his units piecemeal. You never want to do that. You always want to send them in force and in numbers, so you're never outnumbered. So while great decision with the support gun, as it's doing great, good damage against my guys, some bad decision making with his infantry, sending them in one at a time. I'm just going to speed it up here once again.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
So as you probably noticed by now, this would be another huge factor leading to my victory, is the fact that Baker is fielding a ton of manpower. And as we see his troop numbers here at the top, he is completely outnumbered by the amount of troops I have, even though most of them are support. So I guess in terms of infantry we are equal, but I outnumber him overall. He really should have at least one more support gun and 2 more Volks or a couple more Fallschirmjägers. Speeding up here once again, getting a good grenade off here on my guards. They're going to cap this middle point nonetheless. As we do see that manpower number continue to increase. One thing I failed to mention is I got that medical infirmary, or field infirmary, right off the bat, and if I was playing against a skilled player, that probably would have hurt me, and in fact might have led to my defeat, since I wouldn't have had good numbers at the beginning of the game. A way that I tried to alleviate that decision was I built those for that machine gun squad at the beginning.
Crews can now repair their own vehicles.
Huge leg spike, so I do apologize for that.
Objective secure. We will defend it to the death.
As we see the bulk of my infantry swinging up the left-hand side here.
120mm mortars are now available for deployment.
As we see the ridiculously large mortars raining some fire on the sphere. So that's what I'm talking about. It's clearly out in the open. It might have been more beneficial for me to actually use the regular anti-tank round rather than the artillery against the sphere. Probably using more ammo than I need to. As we see the Panzer IV being revealed on the field. And the lack of micro on my part, losing pretty much two great opportunities for me to take out this Panzer IV. So great job here by Baker, really surprising me with this Panzer IV. Getting some good kills right off the bat. And that's what you want to do when you first reveal that you have a tank. You want to do as much damage as you can, especially if you know it's early. Getting a grenade off there. But great micro there by Baker, moving them out of the way. Although they are blobs, so one mortar round could have taken them all out, which almost had just happened. So glancing once again down at the manpower, we see him going into 1500, which is no man's land. You never want to be that high in manpower. That's just that much more units that you could have had on the field. As we see some micro by myself getting my machine gun out of that building. Setting up some mines here just as a precaution. I felt that he really did have the advantage with that Panzer IV, so just in case he decided to swing around the bottom here, it would have guarded against that, but they turn out to be kind of useless, if I do remember. As we do see Baker moving in the middle once again, trying to cap this middle point with just one unit, so he does have the support from the support gun, but that's about it. As we're almost getting into the 2000 range, that is ridiculous. I don't know what he's saving for. I can understand that he's probably waiting to get another tank, waiting for that fuel to go up. As I have my SU. Now I'm going to be able to take out this sphere very easily. Probably took me way too long to take out the sphere considering its location, but as I can see, I'm line of sighting it with my anti-tank gun, so that's what I should have done from the beginning. So now finally the Shrek squads are going to be put to use. So now would be the time to get them, not before. Volk's moving in on this anti-tank gun.
One of our AT guns has been neutralized.
This now belongs to the people and workers of the Soviet Union.
as I begin to converge on all the points on the map, map control, because I have larger numbers, is beginning to sway to my side.
This piece of dirt is ours now.
I'm just going to speed it up here.
We are taking losses.
We're going to just see just how high those manpower numbers go for Baker.
Man down.
We have a new T-34 standing by. Engineer standing by. Supply sector under attack.
Fresh meat has arrived.
So another factor here is this placement of the medical field hospital here. Typically you want to have this, I can sort of understand for this map since it's very small, but typically you want your sphere and your medical field hospital out in depth here a little bit so you can have that retreat point a bit closer to the fight, and that sphere defending it. And going to full speed here, we just see the results, all the bad decisions here.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
Now this land belongs to the Soviet people.
T-34 ready for combat.
I think one thing that probably led to
The enemy has taken our supply
Baker's indecisiveness in terms of building units might have been my big mortars there. When you're against a lot of mortars, it is kind of disheartening in terms of deciding on what to do next. So I can fully understand that. You gotta make use. He's almost at 300 manpower, 2,000 manpower now. Manpower. Yeah. Looking at my resources, my resource management is not that great either. I do have good numbers on the field, so there is that. I am pretty much capped out. So in that case, it is fairly excusable. Although my ammunition is quite high.
The enemy is down to 100 points.
And that is game. So the biggest factor leading to my victory, I think we can all agree, is the amount of manpower Baker was storing. It was nothing necessarily on my side that I did, other than perhaps the mortars and reacting quickly to any fixed positions that Baker set up, like his MGs in the buildings. But again, it was all due to Baker's mismanagement of his resources, and that, my friends, is why he won. He being myself. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.